Hello, Monticello Physical Education students, and welcome to week 3 of our fitness unit. Last week we focused on aerobic exercise. This week we focused on flexibility. You asked me, why is it important to be flexible? Number 1, prevents injuries. Number 2, it makes you better at the sport that you are participating in. And number 3, especially now when we're in this pandemic where we're sitting in front of our computers all day, it relieves stress, makes us feel better, gives us energy. When our focus is on flexibility, it's all about stretching. There's 2 types of stretching that we're going to do today, and one is dynamic and the other is static. Dynamic stretching means there's movement about the joint. So let's say I'm warming up my shoulders. So this is a dynamic movement. There's controlled movement around the joint. Static stretching is when you hold the position for a certain amount of time, anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds. And you'll feel the stretch in your shoulder. There are 2 important things we need to remember while stretching. Number 1 is to always breathe. Do not hold your breath while stretching. We need to get the oxygen into our body, into our muscles. Number 2, never bounce. When you're bouncing while stretching, you could injure the muscle or joint. So never bounce while stretching. Before we start to stretch, we need to warm our muscles up because we don't want to stretch cold muscles. We could injure them. So in order to warm up, you can just do a little walking in place, a little marching in place, a little jogging in place. You can do anything that you like. This is where you can have some fun. You can do some boxing moves, right, like this. Or you can switch it up to this arm. You can do some jumping jacks. Anything that's going to get your body moving, getting the blood flowing to the muscles, warming the muscles up. Have some fun with it and warm yourself up before we stretch. All right, let's start demonstrating some of these stretches we've been talking about. Beginning at our feet and our ankles, we're going to do a dynamic stretch. Take your toe, put it into the ground, and roll your ankle around. This will warm up the ankle joint. Okay, next is the calf stretch. Step over here to a wall or something you can lean on. Make sure your heel of the calf you're stretching stays on the ground. Then lean into your wall or whatever you're leaning against, and that will stretch out the calf muscle. This is a static stretch. Now we're working up our body. Next is our knees. So bend your knees slightly and then roll your knees around with your hands on your knees in a controlled manner. This is also a dynamic stretch, so it wants to be controlled. Now we're working up the leg. We're going to work on our quadricep. Grab your ankle, pull it straight up. You're going to feel a stretch in your quadricep. This is a static stretch. Next up is our back of our legs, our hamstring. So we're going to hang down and we're going to feel the stretch in the back of our legs. We're also going to feel it in our lower back. This is a static stretch. Now we're going to work on our hips. So we're going to do our sumos. When we do a sumo, we bring our knee straight up, we turn it out, then bring it back in. So it's out and in, out and in. This is warming up our hip joint. Okay, it's on to our lower back. The way we warm up our lower back is by trunk twist. We have our knees bent slightly and we turn like this. This is a dynamic stretch, controlled motion for our lower back and core. Trunk twist. Now we warm up our shoulders with giant arm circles. Another dynamic stretch. It's working our shoulder muscles, keeping our shoulders nice and warm, keeping it controlled. Now we go into a static stretch. Our shoulder static stretch. We hold it and we feel the stretch in our shoulder. The last stretch is our neck stretch. We lay our head back, relax our shoulders, and we feel a stretch in the front of our neck. Remember to breathe. Then we look down. We're stretching out the back of our neck. Remember to breathe. Then we go to the right. We lean our right ear towards our right shoulder. We're stretching out the left side of our neck. Then we switch over to the left, and now we're hitting the right side of our neck. And those are our stretches, both dynamic and static.